Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another fantastic episode of Tour of Music. My name is Avery.
My name is Caesar.
And today we will be finishing off the beloved punk album from 1982, Descendents' debut album, Milo Goes to College. Now, in our last episode, we touched on pretty much just our personal experience with punk, and we talked about the culture, the punk shows, people losing their ears and noses. I just kind of touched up on that. We covered the first half up to the 7th track called I'm Not a Punk. So today we're going to be covering Catalina, Suburban Home, Statue of Liberty, Kabuki Girl, Marriage, Hope, Bikeage, and the last track, Gene is Dead. Other than that, I kind of just want to listen to these tunes and we'll talk about them, look at the lyrics, just kind of see how they sound, you know? What do you think, man?
Sounds good, man. Let's just jump right into it.
Let's do it. All right. So for everybody listening in, this is going to be Catalina by the Descendents.
I'm a mess. I don't care. Kind of sitting at my desk. You can't bother me. Yeah, I'm far away from you. Got to get away. You can't rule my day. You can't tell me what to do. You can't make me think I love you. Suited in your arm. You can't hurt me. I'm on my way to Catalina. I'm not gonna read your book. My tank full of squids getting light. Whores, you can't make me want. I got all the fish I need on the deck of my boat. You can't take my heart when I'm here. Locked him home from your cute little life. I'm just some gas. Fix my motor. Turn on my Beatles tape. It gets you out of my head. Ah yes, here I am, far away from everyone. Yeah, the only fish I smell's on the deck of my boat. Now I really wanna go. My motor's broken, and there's no Scotch tape. I'm out of gas. Looks like I'm stuck here. Shit, it looks like I'm stuck here. Just some gas. Fix my motor. Turn on my door tape. It gets you out of my head. Gets you out of my head. Head.
All right. Pretty cool. I'm laughing here because as we're reading the lyrics together, you notice the only two bands they mention are like our favorite two bands for each of us.
Yeah, dude, I did see that. They mentioned the Beatles and the Doors. That's crazy.
Yeah, they say turn on my Beatles tape, and then the next one is turn on the Doors tape. And for anyone who remembers the last episodes we've had, obviously the Beatles kind of screwed us over with copywriting.
Oh man, yeah, we couldn't play any of the music. Yeah.
That was so frustrating. But either way, I think it's just kind of funny that they mentioned those are the two bands that they look up to, which is pretty funny. I like that.
I mean, they're great bands.
Yeah, exactly. They are both great bands that revolutionized music.
Neither of them are punk though. But
I know,
you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You know?
But they led up to it. So this song is kind of just like just a song to sing along to. There's not much depth other than kind of just releasing anger, I'm thinking at least, just
right.
kind of getting away.
This is one of my favorite songs so far on this album though. I felt like it was actually more not as chaotic, as the rest of the songs. It was still chaotic, but not as much.
Yeah, I could hear that. Yeah, it's definitely less pure angst. I like the little, which part was it? This bridge part I think is kind of interesting. I feel like I hear this a lot in punk songs where they kind of just do almost like a monologue. I don't know if you ever heard of Suicidal Tendencies, but they're their most famous track. And
that one of Pepsi.
Yeah. And that they always do that. But I don't know. I agree. I think it's not as crazy as the lyrics are. It's not like the other songs we've listened to. Or what was the other one? I'm Not a Loser or Parents, which are just pure angst. This one's obviously it's still getting angst because it's part of the same album, the same genre, but it's also a little more subtle, I feel like, and kind of just I don't know, sharing a thought. Like this is a certain point in time for this band or whoever wrote it, Bill Stevenson and Milo sang it. But yeah, just kind of talking about, I don't know, just getting rid of someone out of their head and going to Catalina to have a vacation.
Right, trying to get the girl away from him pretty much. And...
Yep, there you go. All right, so with that one being said, let's move on to Suburban Home. This one is one of my favorite. I think it might be my favorite Descendents song. I'm actually really excited to listen to this one. I've been waiting for this all series for this specific song. Something about this song is, I don't know. We'll let you listen to. But this song, I don't know. It's just so catchy, and the lyrics are super cool, even though they're very simple. Have you listened to this one yet?
I have not heard this song, so this is the first time I'm listening to this song.
All right, I'm excited. All right, let's give this one a listen. Suburban Home by the Descendents.
Dude, I think that sounded so punk rock, but had the most anti-punk rock lyrics. It was so funny. What is he writing it sarcastically though? But then, like, if you look at the band members, he doesn't. He looks like how we're talking about the normal guys. Like a super crazy, tatted everywhere, or like some crazy mohawk or anything. You know what I mean? Like, he's a normal guy. So is he being sarcastic, or is that what he's feeling,
That's the thing I was like, as I'm listening and as I'm reading annotations and thinking about it, that's the thing that I'm like trying to think about is like, are they being sarcastic? Like, ooh, I want to be stereotypes like that? Or is it more like, no, I literally want to have a suburban home. Like, I don't want to be part of, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, like I want to be like my mom and dad and stuff, how we say.
Like I just want to have my own house and chill out. So it's like, it's interesting because coming from a punk band, you would think they're being sarcastic. But then again,
exactly.
These aren't, like, these dudes obviously in other songs like I'm Not a Punk or whatever, like they're talking about kind of like the duality, I guess, of being in a punk band versus your own thoughts,
Yeah, I don't know. I like it
tough.
Though. It's like conflicting, but
makes you
good.
think.
It's entertaining. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, like I'm reading here about the bassist, Tony Lombardo, who's I think is some 20 years, his bandmate seniors, older than 20 years of his oldest member or something. He said he also wrote I'm Not a Punk, that he didn't want to be part of that, even though it was also partly sarcastic, and he talks about that the whole scene turned him off. He literally wanted to just be chill and lay out. So it's actually interesting that...
But they were a crazy punk band.
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting, like, they're both kind of a little bit of both. I don't know. It makes you think. It's a very interesting song. And it's really catchy, too, by the way.
It is really catchy. It was a really good song, yeah.
Yeah, when I first heard this album, this one and Kabuki Girl, which we'll get to later on, these two kind of stuck with me over all the other ones. They kind of, I don't know, they just stick out as, like, songs that you remember. Like, there's always those few songs that you remember.
In the album that are, like, your top songs. Yeah, and you always know them right off the bat, too.
Yeah. Like, I want to be a stereotype. Yeah. It's interesting. So, yeah, that's one of the favorite ones, and I think it's one of the more popular ones for clear reasons. But let's get into the next song. I don't know if I've listened to this album, but I don't know if I remember this song, to be honest. So I'm interested.
Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty, this next one, which will be the 10th track on this 15-song album. So let's give it a listen. Now I remember this song because the rhythm is so catchy. I don't know if you got that like I did, but even like if you took out the lyrics, you just listen to the song, like the instruments, it's super catchy.
No, all their songs, dude.
I know.
Like all their songs, I love the drums, I love the guitar riff and everything. The only thing though, this song upset me because, like, what do you mean? Why'd they give it to it? It was a gift, or where'd it come from? It was a gift from the French. Maybe I'm just taking it too literally, but
no, I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking like I was trying to decipher this. I think what they're referring to in this song is has no use, its meaning is gone. See, like I'm trying to think like deeper than face value. I wonder if they're referring to like
too literally.
Yeah, I think what they're referring to is like all the false like freedom, like, you know, America, as a lot of people know, kind of virtue signals on their freedom. Like it's been free for a certain group of people only for a very long time. And so that's why the chorus, when it says, you know, Statue of Liberty, for united we stand, we all agree it's a mystery, but why did they give it to us? Yeah, it's a little weird as far as the why did they give it to us. Maybe because like maybe he's referring to the way America like stands for freedom, but then we've done a lot of imperialistic things.
Or maybe like why even like pretend like you're gonna give us freedom when you're really not, you know?
Yeah, like why did they give it to us? Like why would somebody give us something like this if we were gonna just shit on them, you know? Like I guess that makes sense. Let's see, because it says a present from God, or by the rain the crown swarm wildly to see its peak. Maybe like, yeah, asking like why is it so important to them? I guess kind of like, I guess the idea, this obviously this depends on who you ask, but like the idea of worshiping idol like figures, you know, like
maybe
like what is the beauty they see in it? I don't know why, I just accept it. I don't want it because it makes it. Maybe he feels like the way it represents is like I said, the virtue signaling, like we say all these things, but it clearly it's only, or has been for a very long time, only for a certain group of people, and to this day still remains a struggle. So maybe that's what he's referring to. Like we don't know just why it came, like they gave it to us, but you know, for what? Yeah,
like where did it really even come? Yeah,
but I do agree. At first glance, it's kind of like, well, why did they give it to us? Well, something history.
yeah, like.
But it is, but I think they're referring to more of like everybody's so fascinated with it, and it is a beautiful thing. But it's like, well, like you said, it has no use. Its meaning is gone. You know, it's kind of lost its taste after all the stuff that America has, as we've been peeling away the layers of real history. We see like, wow, dude, like, okay, freedom for who? A certain group of people, and screw everybody else. You know, like united we stand, but it's a mystery. Like, that makes sense.
Or you're free until we need something from you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're free until there's something that we don't agree with. And it's like, fuck you.
Yeah. All right.
So that would be Statue of Liberty. The next song is my favorite Descendents song. Have you listened to this one yet, or no, not yet either?
Kabuki Girl?
Yeah.
I remember listening to this one when we ended it last week. I had to go check it out because I remember you saying.
Hell yeah. Okay, well, I'm glad I listened to it again. It's only a minute long, but it is my favorite. It's so fucking catchy. I think it's their top hit from this album, actually, if I'm not mistaken. But it makes sense
looking at the... Suburban Home too. Suburban Home 2 has
Suburban
a lot
Home.
of...
Yep, that one's super catchy too. Yeah, this one's got 122,000 views on their YouTube channel alone. Their streams are probably way more on Spotify. But let's give this a listen and then we'll talk about it. This is Kabuki Girl by the Descendents.
Promise
think, man?
Dude, that song was badass.
It's
I definitely
so
understand
catchy.
why yeah.
It's
I definitely see why it's one of their top songs.
Yeah, it's so catchy, and honestly, it's not as political or as deep as any other song. It's honestly, and this is what I like about art, like it can be equally political as it can be just fun to hone in on a certain time in your life or whatever. So, those of you who aren't aware, and I wasn't, this is the first time I'm like diving into the lyrics legitimately. A kabuki is a classical Japanese dance drama. It's a style of theater as well. And the intro and part of the verses, he says, "I'm going to the Atomic Cafe." I'm reading here that the Atomic Cafe was a noodle shop in Little Tokyo that was open till 4 a.m. The daughter of the owners. Yeah, isn't that interesting? The daughter of the owners, she liked punk rock.
So she would bring in all the bands and stuff. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's hella tight, dude. Yeah, so
the Ramones played there. Blondie was there.
Yeah, big freaking
That's
bands.
crazy.
It sucks that it closed in 1989. Oh man.
I know. And what, Little Tokyo where? Here in LA? Is that what it means? Or?
I think so. Yeah. Here, let's look up Atomic Cafe. We'll get a little history for everybody. We'll get a little history for everybody listening in. Atomic Cafe, Little Tokyo. Let's see. So yeah. Oh, see, now it's closed. That's why it doesn't show up. But it was. Looks like it's showing. Yeah, in Los Angeles. Let's see. Yep, 422 East First Street, 1946, during the post-war atomic. I forget. Isn't that such an interesting era? Fucking the atomic age, which is like Fallout and stuff. Matoba, Ito.
That's when it opened.
Yeah, it opened in 1946. Damn. And you know what? I'm thinking about this. This must have been tough for them to open, considering the amount of racial prejudice going on against Japanese people during post-war. I mean, that was huge, right? I mean, think about that.
No. Yeah, I bet.
The cafe is notable as a popular gathering place for adherents of punk rock from 1977 forward. How interesting. I'm fascinated with like the way cultures develop, like what brought them to this cafe. Well, obviously it was, the daughter, Atomic Nancy Matoba.
And I'm pretty sure that she is the Kabuki girl. I'm thinking that.
Yeah, she might be the Kabuki girl. Yep. Closed its doors 1989. God damn, that sucks. Now they demolished it in 2015 to me.
They demolished it?
Yeah.
To make what?
To make the Regional Connected Transit Corridor. Subway tunnel, whatever, man. Ugh. Anyways. Yeah, so
that's a bummer.
You got mentioned in the lyrics to Kabuki Girl. Yeah, and he's kind of just talking about, like, I don't know, maybe he likes certain shit. Certain girl. That's why he's all, don't say sayonara. And it keeps the theme of, like, Japanese, I don't know, I think it's interesting. Like, there's a whole theme of Japanese culture in here and just basically talking about it. But it's super catchy and it's fun. And now we learned about the Atomic Cafe, which I had no idea existed.
Dude, I was about to say, like, this gave us like a whole little lesson on punk. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's like, apparently it's like a super huge thing for punk rock from 1977 forward. Super interesting, right there in downtown Los Angeles, man. And now it's just
I kind of want to go by where it was.
No, it's just part of a dumb subway or whatever, which that's a whole topic for another podcast. Alzheimer's don't even keep that shit in check, but whatever. All right, let's see. Next song is called Marriage by the Descendents, of course. This is track 12. Let's give this one a listen. Have you heard this one? Any chance? I don't think I remember this one for me personally.
No, I don't remember this one.
Sweet. So kind of get first initial ideas. All right, let's give it a listen.
Do you know what I think about you? Do you know what I feel is true? Do you know what I think about her? I know she thinks about me, I'm sure. I don't know why it's so, but it's true. I don't know why it's so, but it's true. So you know what I think about you. Do
Dude, that was a good song. That was a really good song.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, lyrics aside, just I don't know. I don't know about you. I get really fascinated with when artists have a niche for creating catchy things that aren't boring. We talked about this before. We were talking about David Bowie, but I love when artists have the ability to create something that's catchy and not boring. Does that make sense? Like when I think catchy, I think pop songs, and yet this is far from pop, and yet it's still like when I think punk, this is exactly what I think. Does that make sense? What do you think, man?
No, definitely, and I like that, and I like what he's talking about too. You know, talking about some girl he doesn't want just sex anymore and all this stuff.
Yeah,
he's actually trying to find real connection and stuff.
Yeah, real connection. Yeah, it's a cute song. I like it, and it's so, I don't know, like this isn't even my favorite song, and yet I think it's more catchy than, or equally as catchy as like Kabuki Girl and Suburban Home, and of course My Edge, the opener, which is amazing. But yeah, I don't know, it's just so catchy.
And you know what? It when I was like overviewing the lyrics real quick before it had started, I was like, man, this looks kind of repetitive, you know? But it didn't seem that way when you're listening to it.
No, not at all. No, not at all. It's like it's repetitive, but it works. Like it's repetitive, not in the sense of like boring, but in the sense like, oh, the repetition turns it into a song because it's repeating, and now I'm like getting the sense of what it is. Yeah, I agree 100%. And this is why we recommended this album for everybody listening that wants to get into punk, because this album is really easy to just play 1 through 15, just not shuffle it, just let it play through. Because it's so catchy, and it'll pull you into the world of punk, and it'll kind of open your palette, I feel, into a sense where it's like, okay, well now I can listen to maybe more experimental punk, or punk that maybe if you first listen to it, it's like, what is this? You know, and that's the same with Ramones and stuff.
It keeps it pretty simple, I feel like. Like, you know, to kind of go off what you're saying, it keeps it simple, keeps it, you know, easy to listen to all the songs. Like, yeah, I haven't really felt the need to like, oh man, I don't like this song. Yeah, any of these so far.
Exactly. Every song has been like, okay, like I'm gonna listen to this because it sounds good. Yeah, I agree 100%. So let's get on to the next track. This one has a lot of views, actually, the most views for lyrics. So I'm interested if the lyrics are really good or if it's just a popular song. 54,000 views on these lyrics versus what we thought was the most was.
I'm Not a Loser actually was at 51.
And I didn't even think that was the most significant song.
Right, and they like double Suburban Home. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I know Suburban Home is usually like, I think was one of their biggest tracks. So I'm actually interested. I don't remember this song, but I probably will remember as soon as I listen to it because, it's one of those where it's like once you hear it, it's like, oh, I remember it because it's so catchy. But let's give this a listen. This will be Hope by the Descendents.
Wait
okay, after listening to this, I remember the song. Like I said, now I know why it's the most famous. 1, it's super catchy, and 2, the lyrics are pretty good, and 3,
the lyrics are deep. Yeah, the story and the lyrics are pretty deep, man.
Yeah, now I remember this song. This is actually one of the first songs I heard from them too. What did you think?
I thought that song was sad, man. I felt bad for him the whole time. Milo's really a lover, huh?
I know, yeah. This is the one song, or one of the few tracks that Milo, the singer himself, actually wrote. Milo Ackerman, he wrote this track. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, this takes me back, which isn't very far, but this takes me back to high school. With, how relationships go in high school. Nobody's figured themselves out, so everybody does things in action instead of thinking ahead. And everybody hurts each other and then cries. And it's that kind of like hopeless romantic where like you'll wait for somebody, which you really shouldn't ever do. But it's
especially not when you're a kid, man.
Yeah, I mean, come on. But like I said, Milo did a great job of putting yourself in the mind of a young adult or young kid, waiting for, crush. And it's hope. Like hope obviously should be called hopeless romantic, but but hope. Yeah, I mean, I was reading this whole time and I'm laughing to myself because I'm like, oh my god, this sounds like my brain at 17 or 16 or 8, fresh into high school.
Yeah, right. Like a little.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm
and
feeling it.
This album came out in 1982.
Yep.
Right, I believe.
That's correct.
So he was about like 19 at the time.
Yeah, let's see.
So yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, how old is Milo now? He is currently 58, which he was born 1963, so 82 he was 21. Yeah, and then I'm sure he wrote it before the album actually came out, so it was probably, so he's 21, 19, 18, 17. Yeah, it's about right. Makes perfect sense.
82. No, 19, no?
63, 70, 80, 20, 82. I don't know. I don't do math, man. I'll take your word for it. 19.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
He's at his young ages, like we predicted. So, makes perfect sense. But I know it's just super funny. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a funny song. It's tragic, but it's funny too.
And like you look at him, and yeah, he doesn't like look like the guy that would get the girl or anything,
Yeah, he's like, but he knows. He's like, yeah, whatever, dude. You'll see. He's got the type of attitude. Yeah, I remember why this song is so famous. It's really catchy, and I bet you everybody that's listening to this in 1982 and even now is probably not married or doesn't have their lover yet. So this song is like, oh yeah, this is my fucking song. That's when I first heard it, so I can relate, at least personally. It's hilarious.
Right, when you're at that like angry stage pretty much of your life.
I hate everything. Fuck this. Fuck
and then you listen to this shit and you're like, oh yeah, exactly.
Bro, this guy knows what I'm talking about, man. It's hilarious. Alright, so let's see. We're already on the second. Like, these songs are short as hell, but I'm glad because then we get to run through the whole album and we get to talk about it in depth overall. This track is called Bikeage. 14th track, second to last off of this album. Have you heard this one yet? I don't remember. I feel like I've obviously heard this, but I don't remember it, of course.
I was about to say I did listen to the whole album, but I don't remember.
It kind of blends into one big song, I feel like, which is interesting.
It does.
Yeah,
it does blend into the whole, because they all sound not similar. I mean, obviously, yes, but like not the same, not exactly the same, but there is a theme going on to where they do mesh.
Yeah, they all blend. Like, oh, is this part of this song? No, I think this is part of that song.
And it's so short, you don't realize that you've listened to like 7 tracks. Yeah,
like, exactly.
By the time like you look away,
you're like, oh shit, it's already been. How long is this album? It's already been 22 minutes. Yeah, 15 songs, 22 minutes. It kind of just feels like a, I don't know, like a really just long song. Yeah, blink. Yeah. But let's give this a listen. This is Bikeage by Descendents.
Relax your mind.
man?
Dude, that song was fucking dark.
Yeah, man. Like, I've listened to it and I've sang the lyrics while I'm driving to work. But I'm like,
put the needle in your arm.
Yeah, I'm like, when I'm driving to work and I'm singing, you know, who's gonna pick you up and use you for tonight, I'm not really thinking. I'm like trying to focus on not getting hit from a bunch of all the other cars. But now that I'm like sitting here with you and like reading the lyrics, I'm like, oh
dude,
man, that's tragic.
Crazy, dude. That song is so damn dark.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like it's pretty smart the way they do it. Like, the first half of it is just, you know, being on the outside of someone who's a drug addict, witnessing it and being upset about it, you know? Like, he says, like, run from your problems, but you'll never get away. No one loves you, and you wonder why. That, to me, like, screams just, like, frustration. Like, oh, my God, like, why are you running away? Obviously, it's not that easy with addiction, but it's the initial feelings you get before you understand, and the chorus talks about that. And then when he gets to the second verse, it's almost like the same frustration but with more empathy, you know? Like, don't be afraid, it's not too late. Save yourself, I need you here. Like, that to me says, like, oh, I'm still so pissed off. But, like he said, like, don't be afraid. Kind of giving, like, comfortingness, you know, comfort.
Yeah.
Like, it's not too late. Like, you can still save yourself, you know?
I mean, I feel like he's, like, obviously in love with this girl who's, like, running out, being, I don't know, taking advantage of the you know, drug addict or something.
Right.
But he says, I can't think about it because it makes me sick. So you obviously know that he's in love with her or something. Something's going on.
Yep. Yeah, wearing out. I can't think about it because it makes me sick. Yeah, I mean, as I was reading, I was like, oh man, like, it's not just talking about a drug addict and like being upset with them. It's like, actually, like, there's a second part of it where it's like that duality of like, I'm frustrated and I have to hold you accountable, so I can't just deny that what you're doing is okay. But at the same time, I understand addiction is bigger than just choices. Like, part of it has to do with how you grew up and all the other factors that play into our behaviors as human beings, you know? So it's actually pretty deep. It's a really deep, thoughtful song. At least I feel like, you know, it's a really
even the name, like, it sounds like baggage, but it's not baggage, it's bikeage, because, you know, bike's more for, like, younger kids. I'm thinking, you know, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like, what does bikeage mean? Bike, I wonder. Bike. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like, you brought that up. The title, I'm unsure as to what it has to do with the song. You would think the song would be called something else, but obviously,
but I'm pretty sure bikeage means, like, for a little kid, their baggage. I'm thinking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, perhaps, or, you know, riding your bike to get to places because you can't drive yet because you're young. 15, bike itch. Yeah, and the itch part is that thing they're talking about, like old punk. It was common to add edge to everything as like slang. But yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
It is interesting. Bike. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I never noticed that.
Good song, though.
Good song, yeah. I think this is probably my favorite. Although the whole album kind of sits as one big favorite. Let's see. Okay.
Let's see, though.
We're here.
What's next? Yeah, Gene is dead. That's it.
We're at the last song of the album. Not a very long album, but as you guys can see, some songs get deeper than others. Some are just pure punk angst. Other ones talk about just rhythm and rhyme, and then other ones, like the one we just listened to, Bikeage,
they go deep, yeah.
Deep stuff, man. And all of it's fun to listen to objectively. But yeah, let's give Gene is Dead a listen, and then we'll close this out with some closing thoughts on this album, what we think about it, and just, yeah, I guess our final thoughts on it. But here it is, Gene is Dead.
Why you do it now, my lord? Put a
was another dark, deep one, man.
Damn, indeed. And I find it so funny the way they're able to create like melodic pop-like rhythms over really dark, deep lyrics.
Dude, right? Like it
notice
stays that same rhythm right there, that same crazy rhythm that's like gets you hyped up, but then the lyrics are so downer.
I know. I'm sitting here like rocking my head, but I feel guilty for singing like, now you're gone and I'm
right.
I'm like, I'm sitting here guilty as hell, and yet I'm like rocking out to it. And what a way to close an album. I'm talking about suicide, man.
Right.
I hope this song isn't based on a true story in their lives, and I hope
it said it was based on a dream. I think.
Yeah, I hope that
based on a dream. Bill Stevenson's head. Yeah, who knows? True.
I would hate for that to be a thing, because there's obviously a theme here, like I think in sequence, like Kabuki Girl, Marriage, Hope, Bikeage, and Gene is Dead, like that. That was that 5 songs, that 5 grouping of songs. Kabuki Girl into Marriage, or maybe not Kabuki Girl. That could be different, but Marriage to Hope to Bikeage to Gene is Dead. Like all those kind of have the same theme of one girl. You notice that? And like the first songs aren't really about. I didn't even notice this until now. Like the first half of the album kind of doesn't really talk about girls or being in love as much. It's more about like them themselves, you know.
And I feel like it was more just kind of like party songs, or yeah, just kind of
reflecting on the culture. And then once we get to like Kabuki Girl, that's when it kind of leads. The closing 5 songs are about girls or like being in love.
They're definitely. I feel like that back part of the album was a lot more thoughtful and a lot more deep than the first part.
Yeah, I agree.
Even though it's the same sound.
Yeah, they have the same theme, same rhythm, same style, which is Descendents in the album. But there's definitely a theme change, not musically, but lyrically, from the first half that we covered last episode, and a little bit of the first 3 songs that we listened to today, versus the closing 5 songs. The closing 5 songs are without a doubt about girls and love and hopelessness and issues that arise when you're young and dumb. And then the first songs are about more of just, I don't know. What do you think?
For the first songs, like they just seem kind of like crazy punk songs. You know what I mean? Like typical crazy punk songs with not much thought or meaning. But that, like I said, that back end definitely gets really deep and serious. Yeah,
I'm noticing that too. Like the first half, like last episode, was more just what you expect from punk. So that would cover out this album. We wanted to showcase this album because Milo Goes to College is a great opening album for punk. If you like lyrics, then it's for you. If you don't like lyrics, then it's for you. If you like good, catchy music, which everybody likes, it's for you. Moving forward, we'll probably be dissecting another album. We'll be deciding the genre. We'll leave it as a surprise, so you guys can come tune in next week when we start covering another lovely album. Stay tuned for that. Where can they find us to keep up to date with us, Caesar?
Yeah, man, check out our Instagram at Tour of Music 104. Again, that's Tour of Music 104. And on our YouTube page, same thing, Tour of Music 104. I'll definitely make sure to keep putting out the links there. And you could stay on tab with us by just subscribing to our YouTube.
Sounds good. All right, with that being said, everybody, we'll see you guys in 1 week when we cover another lovely album review. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.